Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Which case are you here for, Mr. Rosenblum?
Your Honor, I'm here on position number 3, Akash Banerjee.
Okay, oh, he's not in here yet. Okay.
Not in there yet? Okay.
His route, he's coming in.
Okay.
And
All
if I may, can I go ahead and give the reset date for the SAP calendar?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
It will be May the 12th.
Okay. May 12th. Gotcha. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Judge Regina Mincy, and we are going to begin the Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This calendar is for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused these cases of the offenses brought against them, and the case has been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge. So we're going to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, or consideration of a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. I'm going to begin by advising everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as a live stream on YouTube. Govern yourselves accordingly and listen to your attorneys. Also want to let you know on this calendar for the defendants that you do have a right to remain silent, that is your constitutional right. And remember that anything that you say about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrence of your case can and will be used against you. The prosecutors are here and they are listening, so please defer to your attorneys. All right, who do we have first?
This is gonna be position 3, Mr. Benji.
There you go.
Okay. All right, this is case number 22 CR 002615A. I believe it's Akash Banerjee, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly. You're charged with 1 count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer, a 2nd count of possession of alcohol by a minor, report only, and then possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and certain acts on bus, rail, or station that are prohibited, all with the offense date of April the 28th, 2022. All right, pretrial, do we have anything?
First arrest. This was SOB jail recommendation. I sent the recommendation to your email.
Oh, I see it. Thank you. All right, and is this Ms. Harmon?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, or good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The location of the offense was 641 Peachtree Street in Atlanta. It's the North Avenue MARTA station. And the facts briefly are the officers observed the defendant in possession of an open can of beer. They approached him with their badges displayed. He was instructed to place his hands behind the back. He attempted to flee while he was handcuffed and search incident to arrest. He was in possession of less than 1 ounce of suspected marijuana and a digital scale. We believe, Your Honor, that he is a flight risk, as the warrant indicates that he did try to evade this arrest by attempting to flee. Our recommendation is $1,000 surety on the willful obstruction, $500 surety on the alcohol charge, $1,000 surety on the marijuana less than an ounce, and $500 surety on the 4th count. Stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rosenblum.
Your Honor, my client's 19-year-old student at Georgia Tech. He is here while his father is here on the call and will be bringing him home after this series of events. I don't believe there's a risk of either reoffending or fleeing, as he will have his own probation officer in the manner of his family. who will ensure that he will appear in court. I've had several discussions with his father regarding what the next steps are as far as ensuring that his son adhere to any and all requirements the court may have, as well as what to expect next with the court system. I would ask that he be allowed to have a signature bond through the jail as recommended, and that he be released into his father's custody.
Okay. And he said he's a full-time student at Georgia Tech.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And
I think there's only a week left of school and he'll be returning home.
where's home?
Mr. Banerjee, if you could go ahead and turn on your camera and microphone. Where is home?
Yes, Judge, it's 8745 Innisbrook Run, Duluth, Georgia.
Oh, Duluth. So he's still in Georgia.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just
So
make
I'd ask
sure.
that he just return the custody of his family, who will ensure that he is running the straight and narrow while we work on
And Your
addressing
Honor,
all these issues.
and Your Honor, if you're inclined to do the signature bond, I would just ask that the conditions would still hold, that he stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
I agree. That'd be fine.
All right. And I'm assuming he won't be able to ride MARTA, or he's not going to have a necessity to ride MARTA. He'll have to do that. So let me go ahead and give my ruling. I'm going to, looks like that adds up to is that a $3,000 signature bond through the
Yes.
jail?
There are 4 charges.
Yes, Your Honor. Based
one
on
thousand.
my math, I see 1,500, 1,500. That'd be 3,000 total.
Right.
Thank you. I always need help with my math. So we have 1,000 on the first charge, which is the obstruction, 500 on the alcohol by minor, 1,000 on possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and 500 on certain acts on bus, rail, or station. So that totals a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. You are to stay away from the North Avenue MARTA station. Usually I do a ban from all MARTA. I won't do that quite yet. But you certainly are not to go or ride or use MARTA as least as you can during this time, because they probably have you on there as being banned for a moment, or at least have you on there under their radar. So you need to be careful if you use any other MARTA or stations while you're on bond. I'm going to order that there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except for any prescriptions that have been given or prescribed by a physician. And I guess that is it for the moment. And is there anything else I need to take up by either attorney?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. All right, that should conclude this case.
Thank you, Your Honor. So he'll be processed now, and the family will be contacted once he's actually out in the hallway.
I'm not sure, because it probably won't be till later this afternoon, obviously, I think. Courtroom 2.
Yes, Judge?
Will the defendant, will he be able to call, or there will be a call regarding the time for release, or that'll be later tonight?
Yes, it'll be, yeah, it takes up to 24 hours, so he should probably get released sometime by tomorrow morning, sometime in the morning.
Oh, okay, not even tonight, okay.
Okay, well,
All right.
we'll monitor the situation, and Mom and Dad will come get him at that time, and we'll keep him on the straight and narrow until court's.
Great,
Thank you.
great,
Your Honor.
that is
That
good.
concludes my business. Always a
Good.
pleasure.
Thank you, you too. All right, you may be excused. Thank you.
Next, we have position 13, a Jumbo.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes,
This is Attorney Terrell Dart. I'm here for conflict.
yes.
I have a Spanish-speaking client that apparently I need to speak with. I have not spoken with at all. I was wondering, could the court place myself, the client, and the interpreter in a breakout room as soon as possible, just so we could have that conversation and be ready when the court calls our case.
Okay, I see my interpreter, but I will have to find out where the defendant is. Which position is that, Mr. Dart?
I do not know right
Tell
now.
me the name.
Hey, Judge, the interpreter.
Position number 8, Your Honor.
They're at Union City.
I'm sorry, is that person in South Annex?
Yes,
that
ma'am.
is
She's
correct.
at position 8.
All right, is there any way that they could be put into a breakout or he can call?
Your Honor, you'll have to put them in the breakout. You have to put South Annex, Terrell Dog, and the Spanish interpreter into a breakout. And we can continue here in courtroom 2.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, can we do that, Ms. Bridgewater or Mr.
Yes,
Jordan?
ma'am. We
Okay,
will.
And thank you, Your Honor. I apologize for the interruption. Thank you.
no, but that's good, so we can get that out of the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to position 13. And this is Tashara Ijanbo, and I apologize for not pronouncing the last name correctly. We have 6 charges here. This is case number 22 CR 002609G. You're charged with 1 count of driving hit and run. 2nd count, duty of a driver to stop at or return to the scene of an accident. Next charge is driving improper erratic lane change. Next charge, attempting to misrepresent a tag. The next charge, driving expired or no registration or title. No insurance, and driving while license suspended or revoked, all with the offense date of September the 10th, 2021. Pretrial,
Third arrest.
I'm sorry.
Third arrest.
Okay,
Last arrest was last week in Stone Mountain for giving false names, suspended license, and has a 2018 arrest for selling marijuana out of Oakland. Should be off of probation for that next month based on the time. That's it.
okay. All right, is this Miss Sorry?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize for the delay.
Okay,
Your Honor, this incident happened at 10th Street in Atlanta. The victim in this case, he informed officers that he was in a turning lane when the defendant cut him off and hit the passenger side of his vehicle. The defendant stopped the car, got out of the passenger side of the vehicle, and fled the scene. Officers arrived and they searched the vehicle and found documents with the defendant's name on them. When they ran her name, her license was suspended. The vehicle tag was ran, but it did come back to a Buick when this defendant's car was actually a Honda, and the vehicle did not have a registration. The state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond on the hit and run. And for the remaining charges, a $1,000 surety with conditions of no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, no driving without a valid license. Nothing further.
all right.
Yes,
Ms.
Your
Kim?
Honor. Yes. Miss Izanbo is 23. Oh. Sorry about that, Your Honor. Oh. Your Honor, can you hear me? It says my video cameras for some reason failed to start. So I may have to use, I can speak without video, but I may have to use another.
Unfortunately, you may have to sign in and come
Yes,
back in. Sign
Yes.
out and come back in.
yes, let me try that, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
Okay. There you go.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Ijambo is 23 years old, and she has, this is her explanation. Actually, she sold the car on July 2021, about 3 months before this incident actually happened. And she can prove with her bill of sale that is signed by the person who bought through Facebook Market. She has all the evidence that she can prove that. And she claims that this is something that she did. It happened by that person new owner. And she has one child, toddler, 4 years old, and she's currently pregnant and expecting to have a baby this coming August 2022. So her body really needs to rest. Bed rest is very, very needed at this point. She's been working at Yellow Bridge House nursing home, and she's been doing her best. She graduated from high school with honors program. And this is actually, Your Honor, 5th day in jail. She was arrested on Monday at DeKalb County, and she got transferred to Fulton County today. So last 5 days, she has already been in the jail. Probably since she's been here from last Monday, I kind of want to verify the third arrests. I think at the Stone Mountain might be something that could be, I don't know the date. When I was looking up her history, I didn't see that. And this is totally something that she didn't do. So we would like to request for signature on bond so she can take care of her kids and she can keep her job. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry. I just want to give the victim's name in the case. His
Okay.
name is Lawrence.
Sorry, you're frozen. You froze on us. Say that again.
Victim's name is Lawrence Walton. I just wanted to give that information, as well as we do Stone Mountain as Monday for giving a false name. So that's a completely different charge.
Oh, my point is
Driving
she
while
was in jail on Monday, Your Honor. She was arrested on Monday.
I can speak. So ma'am,
No.
Miss Izambo, I strongly recommend you and advise you not to speak. You have every right to remain silent. We don't want to hurt your case at all.
It's just in regards to the charge that they said that I got from Stone Mountain. I have my citations from them and I didn't get charged with that.
It's not in your interest to speak, ma'am.
No, yeah.
Miss Sorry, and I think we may have lost her because her internet was going in and out and I couldn't really hear what she was saying. Thank you, Mr. Walker. How are you?
Oh, good afternoon. I will be filling in for Miss Sorry until she gets back, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So we have this victim, Lawrence Walton. There was obviously an accident here.
Yes, I've been watching.
Okay. And so I'm not for sure what else Miss Sorry was trying to tell me. And it may have been just that the victim's name was Lawrence Walton. And so are we wanting some type of, are you requesting a stay away of some sort or no further contact? I'm not for sure what you were getting ready to say.
I think she's back on.
Oh, there she goes. Okay. All right.
Sorry again.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes, we'll go with the no contact with the victim.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think she's asked for a no contact order with the victim, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And Miss Kim, you had stated that this defendant had children. I know you stated that she is pregnant right now.
Yes,
she
Your
had
Honor.
other children. I did not I don't think I heard about any other children.
There's one more child who is 4 years old, Your Honor.
Well, I think what Ms. Sari was also getting at too was that she was not necessarily arrested for nothing on Monday, waiting to be transferred that many days to Fulton County. She was arrested on other charges. And so she has another case, which we're aware of from pretrial as well, with that other case. So she's got to, you know, learn to get her IDs and have things together when she is pulled over. So I'm not impressed with her conduct at this point. But as far as the bond, again, yes, as far as the bond, what I'm going to do is offer a signature bond through the jail.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And with that signature bond for the hit and run, that would be $3,000. For the each of the next charges, that would be $1,000. So that's a total. Is that a total of 8? If I did my math right?
That's correct.
Okay. So that's a total of an $8,000 signature bond through the jail. Going to order that there be no driving. She doesn't seem to have a driver's license, a valid one, but no driving unless you have a valid driver's license issued by DDS. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim, Lawrence Walton, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, unless there's something prescribed to you by a physician. So that should conclude this case. Anything else from counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Next, we have position 4, bonds.
This is case number 22 CR 002614J. Brandon Isaiah Barnes, you charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of April the 18th, 2022. Pretrial.
His first arrest. He went to felony early and got a $10,000 good bond.
Okay. All right. Ms. Harmon.
Yes, Your Honor. The location of the incident is 2802 Sandalwood Drive in Sandy Springs. The victim in the case is Artist Bellamy. That's ARTIS, last name Bellamy, BELLAMY. The parties were in a verbal argument which escalated. The defendant slammed Mr. Bellamy into a wall, causing the sheetrock to be damaged. The expense for that repair is estimated to be at $500 or less. During the course of the incident, the defendant bit the victim on his neck and his leg, causing his leg to bleed. Our office was able to talk to Mr. Bellamy, and he stated that he is not afraid of the defendant, but he does not want any contact with him, and he does not want him to come back to the location. He would prefer a stay away. And he said that there has been some history of past verbal abuse in their relationship. And in spite of the fact that this is a first arrest, Your Honor, we're still recommending, let's see, for the battery family violence, a $2,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, a 1-day anger awareness, stay away from the incident location. For the criminal damage, a $1,000 surety bond. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Even though this is a first arrest, it's still family violence, and that's the basis of our recommendation in this case. Thank you.
I only have the 1 charge of battery family violence. Did you all add a charge?
Okay, let me double check one thing, Your Honor. If you give me 1 second.
Okay.
Your Honor, I've asked Mr. Walker to take a look into that, and I'll come back. Can I come back to that in a few moments about that charge? I'm just trying to get into Odyssey.
I'm checking, Your Honor, so if I can just have a second.
Yeah, we'll just hold for a second because I can't give a ruling until I know if I'm doing that on
Okay.
both charges. Yeah, I'll wait.
Your Honor, if it's not there, we could just proceed on the charge that you have, and we can amend anything that needs to be amended or added next week.
Okay, all right.
Judge,
Yes,
this is Michael.
yes,
You talking about position 4?
yes,
Barnes?
yes.
So we did receive a second accusation for criminal trespass and damage to property, but for some reason the charge just wasn't filed down to us.
Okay,
We do have the accusation on file though.
all right. Should I go ahead, I guess, and then I can give a bond on both? If
Yes,
it's not
Judge, 'cause we
filed
can fix
down,
that.
it's not there, right?
So it's on his booking screen, so he's gonna need a bond on it. So
Okay.
we can fix it on the back end.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Jordan.
All right. I'm going to order a,
Your Honor,
yes, I'm sorry. I totally know I'm in trouble. And I'm sorry, Ms. Gant. Please, Ms. Harmon, are you done?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, and yes, Ms. Gant, please, I apologize profusely. Go ahead, ma'am.
thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Brandon Barnes is 27 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area since 2020. He has community ties here, including his cousin and his husband of 6 months. His husband is the complaining witness, Mr. Artist Bellamy. Mr. Barnes informs me that he has been with Mr. Bellamy for 1.5 years. We are opposed to the stay away at the incident location as well as the no contact order, as Mr. Barnes informs me that he would like to continue having contact with his spouse. Mr. Barnes completed high school, and at this time, Your Honor, he is unemployed, although he is looking for work. Prior to becoming unemployed, he worked at Amazon. Your Honor, Mr. Barnes denies the allegations today. He informs me that he was pushed first and he was merely defending himself. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Barnes's behalf. He has that open case. However, he is presumed innocent in that matter, as well as this matter as well. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible for a signature bond, then I am requesting a bond of no more than $1,000, and that would be $750 for the battery, family violence, and $250 for criminal trespass. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to reiterate that, like I said, we did speak to the victim, and he absolutely told us that he does not want to have contact, and he does want the defendant to stay away from the location. He just couldn't make the Zoom call today because he had to work.
Ms. Gant, do you know anything about the lease on this location? Is it a home or an apartment? A home?
If I may ask Mr. Barnes to clarify that, I was unable to get in contact with Mr. Bellamy. So we will have Mr. Barnes to clarify whether or not he's the leaseholder.
Okay.
The lease,
We both are.
All right, so this is a home or an apartment?
Home.
Home, and you're both on the lease?
and our information, Your Honor, says that the lease is under the victim's name. So
You have something different.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give a ruling. And that is a $3,000 surety bond, $2,000 on the battery, $1,000 on the criminal trespass and damage, for a total of 3,000 surety bond. I'm gonna order a stay away from 2802. Is it Sandwood or Sandalwood?
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood Drive. Mr. Barnes, I'm gonna need you to find somewhere else to go live in the interim. You will get a one-time law enforcement escort back to that location to retrieve your personal items. Please do not go back without law enforcement escort, or else you can immediately be arrested. You're not to go back there. And you need to schedule and arrange for law enforcement to escort you to get your items. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim, Artist Bellamy. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except for any prescriptions prescribed to you. And I think that's all at this time. Anything else from council?
Nothing further.
Nothing further from the defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have position 9, Mr. Durham.
This is 22 CR 002596C. Is it Tyrese Durham? You're charged with 1 count of battery with the offense date of April the 28th, 2022. Pre-trial.
Second arrest, 2012, forgery conviction. He's a resident of Connecticut.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sorry.
Sure. I'm sorry, I'm just pulling up his information. Okay. In this case, officers responded to 2451 Old National Highway in College Park. That is the location of a sure stay regarding a verbal dispute. The officer observed the defendant being aggressive, irate, and using profanity towards the victim, who is a clerk at the hotel. Her name is Kelly Scott.
And
the defendant told the officer that.
Didn't mean to interrupt you. You may not have great internet service today. You're going kind of in and out, and it's dragging. And you used to go back to where you started with the victim,
Yes, sure.
That person and where they work.
Yes, John. I'm sorry. I am in new construction area. The victim works at Sure Stay. Have the address?
And I still am
Can you
not
hear
getting
me?
that. Very pretty fuzzy for me, and I'm not for sure. Can you hear Ms. Gant? And you can't, Ms. Bridgewater? Yeah.
In and out for me. Yeah.
I'll take over, Your Honor. So after the defendant was asked to leave, he came back and there was a physical altercation between him and the clerk. I believe he grabbed her by her hair and pushed her in the face and hit her with a lotion bottle. This was captured on the surveillance footage of the hotel. We are asking for a $3,000 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location, which is 2451 Old National Highway, which is a sure stay hotel. No contact with the victim, Kelly Scott, a 1-day anger awareness, and no drugs and alcohol. It looks like I have 2012 conviction for forgery as far as the history.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I never could get the word hotel. I think that wasn't coming out and I wasn't for sure the location, what type of location it was.
Yes, ma'am, it's a hotel.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Tyrese Durham is 30 years old. He informs me that he relocated to the Atlanta, Georgia area 5 months ago, and he does have an address, and I will be happy to place that in the chat. Mr. Durham completed high school. He has a dental assisting certificate. However, at this time, Your Honor, he is unemployed and has been so for the past 3 months. Your Honor, Mr. Durham denies the allegations. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Durham's behalf. He does not have any history of violent convictions. The forgery conviction is 10 years old and too remote for this court to consider. Your Honor, he is recommended for a pretrial services bond. We are unopposed to the stay away. However, Mr. Durham advises me that he has belongings at that hotel. So I would ask for a one-time law enforcement escort. And finally, we are unopposed to the no contact order. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's SOB jail, not pretrial.
All right. And so at this hotel, and he was arrested yesterday. So is it a type of extended stay or just he was staying there? Do we know?
He informs me that he was just staying there.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. And I'm going to order a stay away from the 2451 Old National Way, which is the Sure Stay Hotel. Mr. Durham, you cannot return there unless you have the police to escort you there one time to get your belongings, but you have to coordinate that with them. So do not go there alone or else you will be arrested. You are to have no further contact with the victim or the employee there, Kelly Scott. There's no further contact with her. You'd have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except for any prescriptions given to you. And I think that's all I'm going to order at this point. Anything else I need to take up from council?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Next, we have position 10, LB.
This is 22 CR 002604C. Larry Ellaby, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass with the offense date of April the 28th, 2022. Pretrial.
This 10th arrest. Last was 2008. Misdemeanor possession of marijuana. There's a conviction. Yeah, the 06 possession of a controlled substance and misdemeanor obstruction conviction. 07 possession of cocaine dismissed. This was SOB jail as well.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond on the count of criminal trespass. We're asking for no contact with the victim, whose name is, give me 1 second. Trying to read Ms. Sari's notes. I want to come back to the victim's name, but the victim is the manager at McDonald's. At the time of this incident, the defendant was an employee at that McDonald's. They had some type of verbal altercation where the defendant told the victim that he was going to shoot his car. After that verbal disagreement, the manager went out to his car and saw that his tire had been flattened. At that time, law enforcement was called and this report was filed. We are asking for a stay away from the incident location, which is 1105 Northside Drive here in Atlanta, Georgia, a 1-day anger awareness course, and no contact with the victim, whose name I will provide to you shortly.
All right, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Larry Ellaby is 41 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area his entire life. He is married and has been so for the past 10 years. Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away at the incident location, as Mr. Ellaby advises me that he is still employed at this McDonald's location and has been so for the past 6 years. Mr. Ellaby completed the 8th grade. Again, he works at McDonald's and has been so for the past 6 years. He denies the allegations, and I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Ellaby's behalf. He has ties to the community. His last arrest was in 2008, which I believe is too far remote for this court to consider. He does not have any prior FTAs nor convictions for violence, and he is recommended for a signature bond. I would ask the court to order a no violent contact for Mr. Jones, as it would be difficult for him to continue in his employment without having any contact with the complaining manager, who, as I understand, is the manager. And again, we are opposed to any stay away orders as well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Well, I do have some concerns. I understand he may have been working there for 6 years, but obviously he's got is alleged to have had some incident or problem with the manager. Unless you told me the manager wasn't there anymore, but I don't know if there's been a cooling off period or enough time between this incident to put, I don't want to put my victim back in jeopardy again if he comes right back after this incident has occurred, even though I know he hasn't been convicted of anything. But you have some.
Yes, Your Honor, briefly, the manager's name is Dante Jones, and our office has had contact with Mr. Jones. He states that he does not want contact, and he's asking that the defendant not return to the premises. Obviously, I can't speak to his job going forward, but as we all know, this was an altercation between him and the manager, so he's asking the defendant not to return to the location.
And Your Honor, if I may, at this point, these are allegations. My client definitely has a vested interest in continuing at his place of employment. And we believe that a no violent contact order would be sufficient. He denies the allegations, Your Honor. And he doesn't have any convictions for violence.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order a $3,000 signature bond through the jail, but I'm going to have to order that there be no further contact with the victim or the manager, Dante Jones, and a stay away from 1105 Northside Drive, it's McDonald's restaurant. Unfortunately, at this time, Mr. Ellaby, you cannot go back there to work. Maybe they can transfer you to another location, but I don't think it would be wise to put this victim in some type of jeopardy if you were to go back tomorrow or the next day. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to be there to work right now. I'm going to order that you have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, unless it's something prescribed to you. But I need you to stay away from the victim and stay away from that location. All right.
All right, you're done, Mr. Ellaby. Next, we have position 12, Griffin.
Hello, Your Honor. How are you?
Sorry.
Hello, Your Honor. Amanda Griffin.
Keep your mask up for me.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 002603E. Mr. Griffin, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and damage to property on the offense date is April the 28th, 2022. Pre-trial?
7 total. Last arrest was 2021 trespass. He's on probation for trespass in DeKalb County. March 2020 burglary, 1st degree arrest out of DeKalb County. 2021 another trespass. 2017 FTA, pedestrian under the influence. 2016 disorderly conduct. 2015 suspended license. So he's on probation and has an open case. The burglary is the open case. That's it.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond to the one count of criminal trespass. We're asking for a stay away from the incident location, 2430 Cheshire Bridge Road here in Atlanta, Georgia, and a MHET. The facts of this case is that when the defendant came home to his apartment, when the victim came home to his apartment, the defendant, who was a complete stranger, was standing in the kitchen completely nude. There were drug paraphernalia items on the countertop at that time. The victim did call local law enforcement who did come out. The defendant was still on the property at the time that they arrived, and he was arrested. As pretrial previously stated, the defendant already has an open case for burglary, so we are concerned of the defendant's likelihood to reoffend. And that's why we are asking for a surety bond in this case in lieu of a signature bond. And we are also asking for no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
All right. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Lando Griffin is 35 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has lots of family here. Excuse me, Your Honor. Mr. Griffin completed high school. He also has two and a half years of college. He studied biology. At this time, Mr. Griffin is disabled, Your Honor, and has been so since 2017. Therefore, he has limited means to pay anything toward bond. He denies the allegations, Your Honor. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Griffin's behalf, and if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000, as we believe that the $3,000 bond amount is excessive for a criminal trespass charge. Again, we are unopposed to the stay away. We are opposed to the MHET as well. I do not have any concerns for my client's competency, as I had the luxury to interview him. Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
And I'd just like to point to the court's attention. I believe he already has a signature bond on that open burglary case.
All right. And with the MH, what are we basing that on, or what was the premise for asking for MH?
Well, just some of the details in the report that he was in a complete stranger's house, standing butt naked with drug paraphernalia scattered around the home. There was some concerns that there perhaps is some MH issues that are at play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Your Honor, if I may, again, these are allegations. My client denies them. He's presumed innocent. And lastly, as I understand it, the issue here is competency, and I do not have any concerns. He completely understands the nature of the allegations. He's able to assist me. Therefore, I do not believe that a mental health evaluation or MHET is appropriate at this time.
All right. I'm going to order a $3,000 surety bond. I'm going to order stay away from the 2430 Cheshire Bridge Road. No further contact with the victims or the occupants there.
The victim's name is Brandon Hicks.
Okay. No further contact with Brandon Hicks. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except anything prescribed to you.
Okay.
And so that will conclude my order.
Judge Mincy is the
Mr. Griffin, I advise you not to speak. I will give you a call at the courtroom to answer any of your questions, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have position 16, Mangum.
This is case number 22 CR 002607H. Mr. James Mangum, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass with the offense date of April 28th, 2022. Pretrial?
29 total. Last arrest was on the 17th of this month. Criminal trespass, martyr. February trespass, martyr. January, same thing. December 2021, same thing. April 2021, martyr, disorderly conduct, simple assault. February 2020, martyr, disorderly conduct, he pled no law. 2019 FTA, criminal trespass, DeKalb County. 2018 trespass conviction, another 2018 trespass conviction. Yeah, a lot of trespass.
That's it.
And he has history out of North Carolina too.
Recent?
Let me see. Yeah, 2019 phase 2 appeal out of Chapel Hill. 2019 assault, attempt serious injury, injury to personal property, disorderly conduct. Those 3 charges were dismissed. 2019 misuse of 911 system. That was dismissed. 2019 second degree trespass. 2019 phase 2 appeal. That's
Right.
it.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, Miss Sorry, you had to go to your car. Well, thank you for your dedication.
I'm
Let's-
sorry. So sorry for this.
That's okay. We understand. Let's see if we can get you back here. All right, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, officers were patrolling the MARTA at one Atlanta airport. When they saw the defendant sleeping on one of the train cars, the defendant was asked for his Breeze card, but stated he did not have one. His name was ran through the system and came back that he did have an active suspension, which started 2 weeks ago and it ends on May 15th of this year. And the defendant also has a permanent ban that's to begin on May 27th of this year. As we've heard from pretrial, he does have quite a bit of open criminal trespass cases. I would like to point out that those are all with MARTA. That's 1, 2, at least 5 criminal trespasses with MARTA. He does have 2 guilty convictions of trespass as well. The state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond with conditions of staying away from MARTA, and that's all locations, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Nothing further.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. James Mungum is 56 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for more than 30 years. However, he does not have a family. He doesn't have a job. He has been disabled for the last 5 years. But from 2 years ago, he has not gotten any kind of disability checks either. So he has no income. And he graduated from high school. He has an associate degree from the college in Decatur, Georgia. He has an electronic technician background. However, because of his disability condition, he has not been able to get a job. So we would like to request for signature on bond. Otherwise, he has to stay in the jail for a long time. And if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature bond because of other past histories of 5 criminal trespass in the past, we would like to request for maximum $500 surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to order a surety bond in the amount of $3,000. I'm going to order again, a stay away from all MARTA. And so, Mr. Mangum, if you need to get around, you're going to have to do ride shares, Uber or Lyft, because you cannot and should not be on MARTA at any locations, at no buses, no trains or nothing. So you are totally banned from MARTA, at least while you're on bond. It looks like you have some other bans going on as well. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except if something is prescribed to you. And I think that's all. Anything else to take up from council?
Nothing
Nothing further from
further.
the state.
Okay. All right.
All right, you're done, Mr. Mayor. Next, we have position 18, Miller.
This is 22 CR 002597F. Jeremy Miller, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and the 2nd count of fare evasion, both with the offense date of April 28th, 2022. Pre-trial.
17 between Missouri, Kansas, and Georgia. Last arrest was on the 10th of this month, criminal trespass on Marta. February, same thing. He was arrested twice in February on Marta. The first time he was given false name. As far as Kansas, November 2021, criminal damage to property. March 2021, drug paraphernalia. 2018, drug paraphernalia. 2018, failure to appear. 2016, failure to appear. 2015, failure to appear. Another 2015, failure to appear. 2013, same thing. As far as Missouri, 2016, stealing. And 2015, assault first degree or attempt. Those are convictions. That's it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Segura.
And the date of offense is the April the 28th, 2022, and the location is at Malta. At this case, located at 2B5 Peachtree Street, Southwest Atlanta. On this incident date, the defendant entered the Garnet Malta station by paying the required amount. Alongside, he knowingly and intentionally entered that station, even though he had received a written notice not to return to that station. Whereas the state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond, $1,000 for each count, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from all Malta stations. Foundations of business facts, and also because, as Petriot has noted, we are concerned that he offend in this particular cases, as he did commit against Malta multiple criminal trespasses on the 10th of this month, as well as in February, and several other times throughout this Malta within this last couple of years. Alongside, we're concerned that if he set out to only simply FTA in his next appearance, because he actually did so both in Kansas in 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2018, and as well as he committed FTA in Georgia recently as well. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Miller is 35 years old, and he claims that he had to go to Malta to find his ID, social security card, and medicine that he lost. So he's been trying to get those lost items from Malta. I think that was the reason that he had to go to Malta continuously. That's what he says. And he has been here in Georgia for about 2 months. He's from Kansas, Missouri. He has no families here. He has not had any job. He's looking for a job actively. He went to community college in Kansas City and has an associate degree in business. And he would like to work with a previous public defender who has been helping him to get those ID and social security cards so he can get the job as fast as he can. He wants to get the job. So we would like to request for signature on bond because of his financial situation as unemployed. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature bond, we would like to request for $250 per each charge, $500 total surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to order a $2,000 surety bond, 1,000 on each charge. And I'm going to say this again, Mr. Miller, and I hope that you would do what you're being ordered to do, and that is to stay away from all MARTA locations. You're going to have to, as I've said previously, find some other way to travel around by ride shares, Uber, Lyft, things of that nature. You cannot use MARTA, else you're going to be right back here in jail again. You are to, again, stay away from all MARTA stations. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, unless there's something prescribed to you with the prescription. All right.
Your Honor, can he have at least one time escorted visit to Marta to find his ID and cards?
I've never done that before, but I guess we can have a one-time escort. Are you talking about to the MARTA's main office or something?
Yes.
Okay.
When they have a lost and found, if they call to tell him that, we found this, please come and get it.
Okay. So you can have a one-time escort to whichever location or to the main MARTA office to retrieve your ID if they have found it. But you must go back there with the police escort, not by yourself. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That will conclude this case.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't catch the bond. What's the bond amount?
2,000 surety bond.
Thank you. That's the total. Okay.
Yes, total 1,000 on each.
Next, we have Mr. Love, position 15.
This is case number 22 CR 002608G. Jordan Love, you're charged with one count of theft of services with the offense date of January the 22nd. I'm sorry, pretrial.
12 total. Last arrest was February, failed to appear out of Forsyth County. He has an open case in Fulton for DUI, speeding, failed to maintain lane, failed to obey traffic signs and markings. That's 22 CR 000809G. Hold on real quick. He has history out of Tennessee, 2020 DUI, 2014 aggravated child abuse, child neglect, 2012 ag assault, a deadly weapon. That was a conviction. He's wanted out of Cobb County for burglary. 2012 child neglect arrest, and 06 ag assault on parent or custodian. That's it.
All right, Ms. Soren.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, officers responded to Tony's Sports Bar located at 8610 Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. The officer responded and spoke with the security and manager at the restaurant. They stated that the defendant received drinks and entertainment totaling a little over $40. And when the bill was brought to the defendant, he did not agree with the bill. He argued with the security and a physical altercation did take place. The defendant left the building without paying for his bill. And when officers arrived, they did run the tag of the defendant's vehicle and it came back to him. As we've heard from pretrial, this defendant does have multiple open cases. He does have an open case in our jurisdiction for DUI. He has a 2022 failure to appear. So he does present a risk of reoffending as well as a danger to the community due to those violent charges he has open. The state's recommendation is, the bond is currently a $1,000 surety. We're asking for a $2,000 surety due to that FTA just 2 months ago with conditions of staying away from the incident location, no contact. I don't have the victim's name, so we'll just say stay away and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Love is 30 years old, and this is what he says. Tony's Sports Bar, at that time, he was with somebody else, and that $41.84 was supposed to be paid by someone else. He did not owe that money. So when there was a little bit of altercation, but he claims that it was security guards who assaulted him. And they actually let him go because it was not him who owed the money, but the company who he was with. So, and then later on, this is what happened. Only person that they could find about that bill was himself, because of the tag of the vehicle that they had an information. So he got arrested for this 3 months later. And he says that he has a job. Ever since November 21, he has worked at UPS store. He came here to Georgia about 2 years ago from Tennessee. He graduated from high school, and he has a 1 year of college education. And he understands that there is issue at Cobb County. So he would like to go and take care of that issue. So we request for a signature on bond so he can go and be transferred to Cobb County Jail. Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to continue with the $1,000 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Stay away from Tony Sports Bar, 8610 Roswell Road. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. But I'll continue it with the $1,000 surety bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Mr. Love, I recommend you to stay silent. The judge has already ruled. If you have any question, please give me a call.
Your Honor, I just feel like it's in my best interest to let you know that my charges in Forsyth County were already handled as I was incarcerated before I was transported here. And those charges in Tennessee that I was charged with were overturned and vacated. It shouldn't show up on my record. And I don't have any family here or friends in Georgia in order for me to get a signature bond or a surety bond. And I'd like to go on to the next county to face my charges there and get those resolved.
I'm not willing to do that today. You have a very low bond of this $1,000 surety bond. So 10 to 15% is pretty low.
But I won't have no one to sign for me.
Yeah, we'll have to see what you can do and work out, or else you're obviously going to be reset. Right, Ms. Bridgewater? I think you're reset to May 12th, is that correct?
That is correct.
Right. So let's see what you can do between now and you'll come back for review May 12th if you've not already bonded out. All right. That concludes this case.
Position 20, Sheffield is next.
This is case number 22 CR 002599G. Melvin Sheffield, you're charged with 1 count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer with the offense date of April 28, 2022. Pretrial,
His ninth arrest. Last was 2021 probation violation, theft by taking. 2021 ag assault, home invasion in the first degree, battery, theft by taking. The home invasion was dismissed. I don't see the disposition for the other charges. It's Clayton County. 2019 probation violation, ag assault. 2019 possession of a Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance, possession of a firearm by convicted felon, possession of a knife or firearm during a commission, possession of cocaine with intent, possession of marijuana with intent. 2018, two counts of burglary in the first, misdemeanor obstruction, trespass. That was out of Clayton County as well. Was on probation for ag assault. Came out of a 2016 case from Clayton County. They gave him 5 years probation in 2018.
all right. Mr. Segura,
Let's give some background before I start the facts at this particular date. Back in April the 23rd, officers arrived in a 1130 Astor Avenue location to a call by the armed robbery. Upon that time, they met with a victim named Mr. Brandon Haskins. Brandon, common spelling, Haskins, spelled Haskins, who said that he flew out of town to spend some time with his ex-girlfriend, who picked him up with her vehicle, at which point she drove him to a home location and to meet for some particular reason. At that point, two males walked out who this victim suspected was the boyfriend of his ex-girlfriend. And these two males put out a gun and robbed Mr. Haskins out of $3,000. At that point, the two individuals rode off in the vehicle. Now, on this incident date, on April the 28th, 2022, also responded to a carjacking, and they noted that they found the vehicle was parked. They looked inside it and found two individuals, one of which was a driver, and the second was Mr. Sheffield, who was in that same vehicle and suspected being one of the armed robbers. In it, they found that they both drove away and was chased. Afterwards, both of them were caught. Well, the vehicle was caught. At that point, the defendant got out of the vehicle and ran on foot before he was chased and captured by police. The state is recommending a $2,500 surety bond, narco, drugs, and weapons, and no further contact with Mr. Brandon Haskins. Allegations are based on these facts, as well as because of his history as pretrial.
This is not my case.
Of it being a violent past, particularly the 2016 aggravated assault, which he was found guilty.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second, Ms. Segura. What is your name?
Melvin Sheffield.
Okay.
The case that he was just speaking on, that's not my case, Your Honor. The other cases are my cases. In the possession of the firearms and the controlled substance cases, that was a case that I had in Fulton County, and it was dismissed. The whole case was dismissed and thrown away. So my probation violation was dismissed for that too. That's been dismissed. You can look it up. That was a Fulton County case. That's dismissed. But what he's talking about, I don't know anything about that other case.
Okay.
Taking that into account, I would like to amend on April 28th, the defendant was in a vehicle which was involved in that audio case, which the call itself was reported stolen. At that point, when police caught up to him, he was ran off and he was chased by police and captured. We're recommending that, again, a surety bond of $2,500, narco, drugs, and weapons, and leave it as that, and recommendations based on he fleeing from police, as well as because his violent history and the concern of danger to the community based on his guilty conviction in 2016 for aggravated assault. And I'm concerned he could probably not show up if he's released because of 2019 arrest for probation violation. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Sheffield is 24 years old, and Your Honor, his charge accusation is only for obstruction of law enforcement and everything else that, Mr. Segura is talking about, he is not charged of. That's not none of his. And Mr. Sheffield has been here in Georgia for 24 years. He has one child, 5 years old. He has parents and siblings, everybody here in Georgia. So he's not a flight risk. And he's helping out his cousin who has a towing business. So he's trying to establish his income source. He is also working on his GED program. So his dream is to have a barber license to become barber, and he's working toward his goal right now. So we would like to request for a signature on bond for this obstruction of law enforcement. And if your honor is not inclined to give him signature on bond, we request for maximum $500 surety bond, your honor. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to order a $2,500 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except anything prescribed to you. And is there anything else that the state had requested as far as bond conditions?
We did, but since we some dispute as whether he and the driver of the vehicle were the same ones that committed the armed robbery a few days beforehand. So we just leave it as that.
Excuse me, Your Honor, that's not my case. I don't have any armed robbery cases. I don't have those. I don't know what he's talking about, Your Honor. I don't have any armed robbery cases.
Okay, well, check that out and speak to your attorney and have her to look that up for you and to see if that's you or not.
And I also, is on me? You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor, I don't have any way to pay the $2,500 thing.
Well, it's not that, it's 10 to 15% of that. Go through the bonding company. You don't have any family or friends here?
Yes, ma'am. I can see if they can help me out.
You can come back on May 12th is, if you haven't bonded out before then.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Next, we have position 21, Mr. Torres.
And you said what position again, deputy?
This is position 21, Mr. Torres.
Torres, okay, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, this is 22 CR 002600E. We charge of one count of driving while license suspended or revoked, and a second charge of reckless stunt driving, both with the offense date of April 17, 2022. Pretrial.
My file says first arrest. SOB jail.
All right. Mr. Segura.
And the date of offense is April the 17th, 2022 at the location of Whose Road, spelled Houze Road, and Worker Road, Roswell. In this instance, the defendant Roswell police were notified of illegal stunt driving, possibly calling in the city of Roswell. When they arrived at the intersection of Roswell and Whose Road, that they were able to find the defendant in which a video of him committing a stunt was uploaded on social media, particularly Instagram. In that video, it showed that the defendant, who was clearly shown on video, identified, committing, as the police noted, a donut, which is a maneuver performed by a vehicle in which they rotate the car in such a way in a circular pattern in a continuous motion as to create a skid mark pattern on the road. And depending how fast it could emit smoke from the wheels by the friction. At this point, please identify the individual by the video, and when they able to get the defendant, they found out that he had a suspended license which dated from March 21st, 2022. As such, recommending a $3,000 surety bond, $1,000 for the suspended license, and $2,000 for the reckless stunt driving, alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no driving without a valid license. Allegations are based on facts, as well as because we feel like he's a danger to the community by his types of driving, concerning that in a public road, he committed a very, let's say, extreme car maneuver, which could pose dangers to other drivers, as well as because he has a past on his licensing that make him dangerous to the road. And I believe in 2001, he was speeding 124 on a 70, and he was cited as driving in a circular and a zigzag patterns throughout roads. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was your recommendation again, Mr. Segura, on the bond? What was your recommendation?
That's a $3,000 surety, $1,000 for the suspended license, and $2,000 for the reckless stunt driving.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Tyrese Herrera is 19 years old, Your Honor, and he has been here in Georgia all his life. He was born here. He has his family here. He's not a flight risk. And also he's working for his father while he's taking classes online to get GED. And he does not make a lot of money as 19 years old boy. He's working, doing the construction and remodelings. So this is his first arrest, Your Honor, and even pretrial recommended him for signature on bond from jail, and we really recommend him to get signature on bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to order the $3,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And no driving unless you have a valid driver's license through DDS while you're on bond, else you'll just be picked back up again. All right.
I'm sorry, Judge. You said a signature bond through the jail. What's the dollar amount?
3,000.
Thank you.
Will you break that down, Judge?
On the driving with the suspended license, we'll put that at 1,000, and then the stunt driving at 2,000.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wilkerson. Wilkerson. Position 23, Wilkerson is next.
Okay. This is case number 2022 CR 002602F. Michael Wilkerson, you're charged at 1 count of fair evasion on 4/28/2022. Pre-trial.
Yeah, 50 total. Last arrest was 2020, failure to appear. He's on probation, 2 counts of theft by shoplifting. 2019 failure to appear. Another 2019 failure to appear, possession of cocaine. 2018 probation violation, shoplifting. 2015 FTA. I'll leave it at that, since 50 total.
All right, Mr. Segura.
The date of incident is on April the 28th, 2022 at the Lindbergh Malta Station at 2420 Piedmont Road, Northeast Atlanta. In this location on this incident date, police observed the defendant pushing through the tailgate and not paying the required amount. And when police approached the defendant, asked for identification, they informed him that he had a active warrant out of Fulton, and that he's also has now a 60-day Malta suspension that's effective in May the 28th, in 2022 until July the 27th. We're recommending a $2,000 surety bond, non-alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from the Lindbergh Malta Station. Foundations are based on these facts was because we concerned that he could reoffend, especially considering that he committed criminal trespass in 2012 twice. He made a probation violation 2013, and we concerned that he could simply not show up in his next court date as he did at FTA in 2015, 2019, and 2020. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Michael Wilkerson is 63 years old, only 1 year away from retirement and getting a disability check. And yet at this time, he has been unemployed ever since March 2020 from the COVID-19 pandemic started. He has not had any job. So he had like on and off odd jobs, but he didn't have reliable income sources. He was born here in Georgia and his family is here. However, I mean, not here in Georgia, they're out of town. He's separated and his wife is currently in Arkansas. So he has nobody to bail him out at this point. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request for maximum $1,000 surety bond for total. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to order a $2,000 surety bond. We're going to order stay away from MARTA at 2420 Piedmont Road. And, you know, he needs to also be aware of his ban that's coming up on May 28th. And I don't know, Ms. Kim, is that from all MARTA or is it from?
It was from 2420 Piedmont Road, which is the Lindbergh Station. So can we limit to Lindbergh Station, Your Honor?
Okay, I'll just limit it right now for the Lindbergh.
Thank you.
Station. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except for any drugs prescribed to you. Is there anything else I need to take up?
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
Okay. All right, that concludes this case.
Your Honor,
Yes,
you said $2,000 surety,
yes.
so that means I got to go through the court and pay $2,000?
No, you go to the bonding company and it's 10 to 15%.
Okay. Well, what, ma'am? I don't have no family, no money. I mean, I would appreciate, you know, it's nothing to this, the case is nothing. It's just evading a fair gate.
Mr. Wilkerson,
I
I recommend you to stay silent.
I just want a signature bond, man. Let me have something. I've never had it.
There's a little bit of history there. We want to make sure.
My God. My God. Give a guy a break sometimes.
And you can make a call, you know, to some family and friends to see if they can help you with the bond. That's not a very high bond. Okay.
That's it.
All right, that will conclude this matter. You'll be brought back if you don't make bond on May 12th.
May 12th.
May 12th.
About what?
I'm sorry?
For what?
If you don't make bond before then, your reset date is May 12th.
For what?
Please call me. I'll explain to you, Mr. Wilkerson.
Next, we have Mr. James, position 14.
This is case number 22 CR 002605D. Daryl James, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 2nd count of giving a false name, address, or birth date to law enforcement, 3rd count of giving false information to law enforcement, all with the offense date of April 28, 2022. Pre-trial.
52 total. Last arrest was back in January, probation violation, forgery 3rd degree. September 2021, trespass. He's on probation in Gwinnett for forgery in the 3rd. 2012, possession of cocaine, that's a probation violation. Trespass conviction 2011. Another probation violation 2009. Another trespass conviction 2009. And another one from 2009, got a robbery conviction 2009. Another 2009 trespass. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sorry.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, a Georgia State University officer was patrolling the parking deck located at 121 Collins Street in Atlanta when he discovered the defendant sitting by the exit door. When asked his name, the defendant gave the name Ronald Mike or Mike Ronald with the date of birth of 10/28/52. It was determined that the defendant is not a student and he's not an affiliate of Georgia State University. As we've heard from pretrial, this defendant does have multiple arrests, 52 cycles. He has probation violations in his history, but recently, Your Honor, he was released on a 2021 criminal trespass where the victim in that case was Edgewood Parking. He was given a signature bond through the jail, but he failed to appear for a plea and arraignment. The bond is currently set at 500 surety on the criminal trespass and false name. Your Honor, we're asking for you to increase that bond to $2,000 surety on each charge with conditions of staying away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Mr. Daryl James is 59 years old, Your Honor, and he does not have a children, and he has a sister and brother here in Georgia. And indeed, ever since he was 27, he has been disabled. So he actually needs accommodation of wheelchairs. So maybe the courts, the jail room, courtroom 2 can help him to get wheelchair. He says he has 7th grade education in high school, and he does not have any income at this point. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request to have the current signature bond, surety bond as is without increase. Currently, there's a 1,000 total surety bond, and we would like to keep that. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to order a surety bond. Surety bond in the amount of $1,500. And let's see, the breakdown of the surety bond would be 500 on the criminal trespass, 500 on each of the counts of giving a false name. So that would be a total of $1,500. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, unless you have a prescription for any drugs that are given to you. And I don't know, is there anything else I need to take up?
To stay away, Your Honor.
Is this a stay away from just one location or all?
All Georgia State University property.
Okay. All right, stay away from all Georgia State University property and locations while on bond. All right.
Oh, it's 150.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Judge, we have
Okay.
Mr. Dark's case, position 1, Mr. Adams.
Okay.
150, I go home.
Hey, come on, man.
Hello. What you talking about, man?
All right, this is case number 22 CR 002587B, Christopher Williams Adams. You're charged with 1 count of giving false information to law enforcement officer. 2nd count of failure to maintain lane or improper change, and a 3rd count of reckless driving, all with the offense date of December the 10th, 2021. But do you have anything pre-trial?
He's been in custody since December for felony charges. He has history out of Florida, the state of Washington, and Connecticut. Let me see what state I'm gonna start with. This is his 2nd Georgia cycle. He had a 2017 harassment out of Seattle that was dismissed. That's the only state of Washington arrest. November 2021 trespass out of Florida. It just says charge was amended. 2020 vandalism, Florida, damage to property. Got a petty theft, which was a conviction from 2018. A retail theft, 2018. Was a conviction as well. He got a battery from, it's like felony battery, 2017. I didn't see a disposition for that one. 2015 resistant officer conviction. 2015 battery on law enforcement. Try to find this Connecticut history real quick. Last arrest in Connecticut was 2015. No, 2018, I'm sorry. A breach of peace, failure to appear. Those were convictions. 2018 criminal mischief, failure to appear. That's it.
Okay. Mrs. Hammond. I'm sorry, Ms. Harmon.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Yeah, the location was off of I-85 North. And you know the offense date is 12/10/2021. At this time, we only have the warrant, Your Honor. And per the warrant, defendant states that he lost control of his vehicle while he was traveling at a speed of 110 miles per hour. He told the officers that his name was Anthony Porquez and even provided a driver's license with the name and picture displayed. However, he was later identified by his true name, which is Christopher Adams. As Mr. Howard informed the court, he is a multi-state offender. I believe that he is a danger to the community. His conduct at driving at that rate of speed is inherently dangerous. I'm also concerned about the FTA out of Connecticut for him being a flight risk. And of course, it's a concern of the state that he presents a risk to reoffend with the open case, the 21 CP 204872. Currently set at a $1,500, the bond is set at a $1,500 surety on the false name and a $250 signature on bond on the failure to maintain lane. I'll recommend those amounts, Your Honor, but I'm also asking for a $3,000 surety on the reckless driving, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. So that would be a total of $4,500 good and $250 signature.
Your Honor.
You need to wait till
Yes,
your
ma'am.
attorney,
Yes, ma'am.
hold for your attorney. All right, Mr. Dart.
Yes, Your Honor. We are asking for all bonds to be set as a signature bond. Your Honor, I do understand the high rate of speed for the defendant. I do want to give some degree of context. The defendant has had some issues, I believe, with substance abuse and other underlying issues that he has worked through. My understanding is he's actually been accepted into what's called the PAD Initiative Program, and that is where he will be housed if the court were to grant him a signature bond so that he could go into that program. He would otherwise be homeless, but that is a program that's lined up for him, Your Honor. I believe that program will address a lot of the underlying issues at play. He obviously won't be driving, but I think the court could just order that he not drive and allay a lot of the issues that the state has raised. Additionally, Your Honor, he has otherwise appeared any other time for court, save for that one failure to appear. And so I don't think that he is at all a flight risk. Your Honor, we would ask again that whatever the amounts are, we don't have an objection to them, just based upon indigency, my interview with the defendant, and his limited means. He would basically be unable to make any bond other than a signature bond. That is our request.
Well, what is his work history?
Your Honor, he's 27 years of age. He is currently unemployed. He has been in custody, from my understanding, since November, December last year. And so he's not employed at this particular time. He's been in custody on those felony charges.
And Your Honor, we would need some documentation to understand this acceptance into the PAD program. I think that's what you said, Mr. Dart. And currently we don't have any indication that he's been accepted into any program of that nature.
What's in my file?
And again, Your Honor, just to reiterate, I think a surety bond is necessary because of the multi-state offender status that he's in. And he had an arrest in Florida as recently as January of 2021. So my concern, of course, is fleeing and not returning.
Mr. Dark, do you have any confirmation on the PAD initiative that he's accepted?
I do not, Your Honor, but if the court needs that, I can try to work with the defendant to get it. Mr. Adams, would you happen to have any paperwork which reflects your acceptance into that program?
Yes, sir. It's on my record right now. You can pull it up in the state system, and you can see it. It's on my. I'm looking at going to pretrial interview, and my attorney's been working on this since December, and I just got accepted. And I was on the way there, and then I just got put in.
Okay, that's enough, Mr. Adams. What I'm asking you is, where specifically are you saying? Are you saying it's on Odyssey? It's been filed or something into the case? What do you say?
Yes. What was that paperwork that you guys pulled up? When you looked at, what is that called? Remember he pulled up my file and it said I was going to the PAD program? When you look at my charges?
You gotta ask Officer Norris, I don't know.
Yeah, what was that called?
From a drug court?
No, when he looked up my charges and stuff.
It says PAD program on his booking, but I don't know if he's been accepted.
Yeah,
but it is on his booking sheet.
Okay. I don't know if that's because he told them that.
Well, no, they ain't gonna put it on there because he said it.
Yeah, that's not.
They don't work like that.
They won't do that. They'll actually not do it if he's just saying that.
Right.
So let me see. Based on his booking, he got a UJR for the drug-related objects. The trafficking meth was a $5,000 cash that was paid by somebody on behalf of the Bell Project.
Yeah.
Got a UJR for the felony theft by receiving. You got a SOB jail for the failure to maintain lane. And he's here for what, to give him false name?
And Your Honor,
And then
My
it says
understanding-
program, pad program.
Okay.
My understanding is that all of this was done so that he could, go into that program. Their understanding was not that he would be released to the street, but it was to go into that program. And it's also reflected on his bond order on that Superior Court case. I was just notified. And so we would just again ask that, we do understand these charges are obviously serious, but they are not quite felony level offenses. And, we would just ask that he be allowed to go into the program kind of along with those other orders, because this popped up when he was processing to be released to go into that program.
Okay, I understand. All right, so what I'm going to do is the same thing is the signature bond, UJR per judge, so that and signature bond through the jail so that he can go into the program, as we're saying, not to be let out for the street. And they're given the false name, that will be $1,000. And then he already has the signature bond of $250, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the failure to maintain lane.
Yes.
Okay, and then the signature bond of $3,000 on the reckless driving.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, so good luck to you in the program.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
What's the total bond amount, Judge? You said all through that is signature bond through the jail. What's the dollar amount?
1,000, but 1,000 on the first charge, 3,000 on the reckless driving. So that's 4,250. And then 250 on the failure to maintain lane. Is that correct, Ms. Bridgewater?
It is
Okay, so that's a total of
$4,250 SOB through the jail.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
all right.
Next, we have Mr. Anderson, position 2.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Dark.
Who we on?
I don't
This
know.
is position 2, Mr. Anderson.
All right. This is 22 CR 002613Y, DeAndre Anderson, with 1 count of simple battery family violence. The offense date is 4/14/2022. Pretrial.
17 total. I counted 2 failure to appears, 3 probation violations in the history. Last arrest was in February, failure to appear. Yeah, underlying charge was ag assault, strangulation. He is on probation for the ag assault. They gave him 5 years probation last month. Case number 22 SC 180252. And the 2020 misdemeanor obstruction, simple battery family violence. I'm not sure about that disposition. Sure the state knows. 2020 probation violation, battery DV, 15 SC 135351. That's a failure to appear, possession of tools during the commission, failure to appear, criminal damage to property, 2nd degree. Failure to appear, criminal attempt to commit burglary. A trespass conviction from 2019 and a probation violation for the battery family violence. 2012 probation violation, battery family violence. Got another one in 2010. Oh, and an 02 simple battery conviction. That's it.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred at the location of 2640 Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta. The victim in the case is Kawanica Spencer. Kawanica is KWANICA, last name Spencer, common spelling. Excuse me. The parties have 7 children together. Ms. Spencer got into a dispute with a woman at a store, a third party. And during the course of the dispute, she took the other person's bag and she kind of threw it. And after she did that, the defendant walked up to her and punched her in the face, causing her to fall down to the ground. Ms. Spencer kind of ran into the store, the location I gave you, and the defendant chased her around the store, knocking some items over, and he was not there when officers were on scene. This defendant poses a significant danger to this victim. The 15 SC 135351 battery family violence, that was the same victim, and it was a first offender. The 20 SC 177157 simple battery family violence was the same victim, and that was a guilty. The ag assault strangulation 22 SC 180252 was a guilty on 3/4/22 with a 5 years probation, and that was the same victim. Because of the probation revocations on a 2011 battery case, a 2012 battery case, the probation violations on the 15 SC 135351. It was also a probation violation arrest on the 19 SC 16674 in the FTA on the ag assault strangulation. Our concern is that he absolutely will reoffend. He presents a flight risk. He clearly has presented himself to be a danger to this victim in particular. In light of the foregoing, Your Honor, our recommendation is a $25,000 cash bond, no further contact with the victim, third-party transfer of any children, a one-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, and that was 25,000 cash.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your recommendation, okay?
That's
All
me.
right.
That's
Who's the case from the PD? Oh, Mr. Dark.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor, it is my case.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, Mr. Anderson, please hold and be quiet for a second. Let your attorney present your case for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, Mr. Anderson is 37 years of age. He is currently homeless. However, he has provided an address where he sometimes resides with his mother of 752 Vincent Place. That's in Atlanta, 30315. Your Honor, he was somewhat confused as to the nature of the charges and trying to understand what was, I guess, going on. Of course, he maintains his innocence at this particular time. He is a lifetime resident of the state. He is currently employed at a car shop called Pit Stop. Your Honor, we have no objection to any stay away provisions, either from the incident location or from the listed victim. However, we would ask the court to consider a signature bond. In the alternative, Your Honor, we would ask for a $1,000 good bond. Nothing further.
And Your Honor, of course, in light of the history, we would be opposed to any signature bond in this case. Again, because of the considerable history with this victim in particular, I think that a cash bond in this case is appropriate. And I do think it needs to be high. This is repeatedly offenses against the same victim. So I do think that I would ask that you would consider that in your ruling, Your Honor.
May I talk to him?
And he's doing this while he's on probation from a case against the same victim. And this was only last month.
May I talk?
Your Honor, I understand all of that. It's a misdemeanor case at this particular point. I understand the state's concern. The state absolutely could file a motion to revoke a lot of different things in this particular instance. And I think if that is their choice, that is what they should do. But in this particular instance, I think that the defendant is still a good candidate for bond and should have the opportunity to post bond. And I believe a signature bond, if the court doesn't feel it's appropriate, then we would again just ask for a surety bond in the amount of $1,000. Nothing further from us, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to order a cash bond in the amount of $10,000. I'm going to order a stay away, and I'm not sure, the 2640 Metropolitan Parkway. That location, I imagine, is the store where this occurred, or the,
That's what I think, Your Honor. I don't think that this occurred at the home of the
Right.
victim, but unfortunately, our office was unable to make contact with the victim for today. So I believe that's the store.
okay. But we'll just order stay away from that location, the 2640 Metropolitan Parkway. We're gonna also order no further contact with Quantica Spencer. No further contact with her. You just stay away from her. And those specifics will be in the bond order. No contact by Facebook, no contact by social media, telephone. Stay, I think 100 yards away is what it states, or from her. You're not to have any third parties to contact her or anyone else on your behalf. I understand that you do have 7 kids together. I'm not inclined at this point to order any supervised visitation or any third parties. I think that does not need to happen because I don't want to risk you going around the victim. We need to protect this victim at this point. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. All right, that's the ruling of the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next,
And
we
Your
have
Honor,
position 8 at South Annex.
Yes, South Annex.
Yes, ma'am. Position 8 and position 7.
Okay,
Position 8 is in front of you, Ms. Cruz.
okay. This is case number 22 CR 002616Y. Daphne Cruz Martinez, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence. Offense date April 27th, 2022. Pre-trial.
Your Honor, do you need to swear me in?
I'm sorry, this is my, I do, and I have it written on my notes. I'm sorry that this is my interpreter case. Raise your right hand for me.
Yes.
Do you affirm that you will interpret, is it Spanish? Spanish,
Your Honor.
English, English to Spanish with no embellments to the best of your ability?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You want me to repeat, to interpret what you just said?
Yes.
Okay, este es el caso de Cruz Martínez Daphne, el caso 22CR002616Y, y ha sido acusada por lesiones simples bajo la ley de violencia intrafamiliar que ocurrió el 27 de abril de 2022. And Your Honor, may I remind everybody to please pause so that I can interpret for the defendant.
Okay, thank you, yes.
Thank you.
All right, pre-trial.
Conferencia antes previa al juicio.
It's her first arrest. If she get pre-trial, she need a co-signer. She's 18.
Oh, she's 18, okay.
Oh, tiene 18 años y no hay ningún antecedentes.
All right. Ms. Harmon.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
5801 Kingsport Drive. The victim in the case, I'm sorry, Madam Interpreter.
5801 Kings Drive, you said?
Kingsport Drive is the
Kingsport.
location of the offense.
Ok, este delito ocurrió en el 5808 Kings Court Drive, que es donde vive la víctima.
The victim in the case, Your Honor, is Pablo Garcia.
Y la víctima en este caso es Pablo García, su señoría.
The parties lived together and they got into an altercation.
Las partes vivían juntas y tuvieron un altercado.
The defendant pulled Mr. Garcia's hair during the altercation.
Y la acusada le jaló el pelo al señor García durante el altercado.
They've been living together for about 3 years.
Han estado viviendo por una cantidad de 3 años.
And we did get to speak to the victim in this case, Your Honor.
Y sí pudimos hablar con la víctima en este caso, su señoría.
And he says that he did not want to press any charges and that he's not afraid of the defendant.
Y él dijo que él no quería presentar ningunos cargos y que él no le tiene miedo a la acusada.
and he was not going to be able to make it on the Zoom call today.
y que no podía presentarse en la llamada de Zoom hoy.
Your Honor, we still believe that she presents a danger to the victim based on the incident facts.
También nosotros pensamos, señoría, que ella todavía presenta un riesgo o un peligro para la víctima debido a los hechos que ocurrieron en ese día.
And in spite of what the victim has told us, we still believe that this is family violence.
Y a pesar de lo que nos ha dicho la víctima, todavía creemos que esto es violencia intrafamiliar.
Taking into account her limited criminal history,
Tomando en cuenta su poca historia, antecedentes penales en esta parte preliminar,
the state will recommend a $2,000 surety bond.
la fiscalía recomienda que se le imponga una fianza o caución de $2,000
Stay away from the incident location.
y permanecerse alejada del sitio donde ocurrieron los hechos.
No further contact with the victim.
No te puede tener más contacto con la víctima.
One day, anger awareness.
Y también tiene que ser una clase de un día que es de conciencia, una clase de tomar conciencia.
No alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
No puede ingerir ni drogas ni alcohol ni tener armas.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Gracias, señoría.
And this location, what is this location?
I believe that's their home, Your Honor, where they live.
Okay.
Creo que este es el sitio donde ellos viven, esta ubicación.
Okay. And is this Mr. Dark?
Yes, Your Honor, it is my case.
Okay.
Your Honor, we would ask the court to impose a signature bond.
Le vamos a pedir a la juez que usted imponga una fianza bajo palabra,
A no violent contact order,
una orden que sea de no contacto violento.
and Your Honor, we would ask that the court would hold off on ordering the one-day anger awareness.
Y le vamos a pedir a la juez que se abstenga de poner por ahora, de ordenar de que tenga que asistir al curso de un día de tomar conciencia.
Your Honor, we do feel we have an arguable self-defense claim on this case.
Nosotros pensamos que tenemos un argumento básico de defensa en este caso.
And we will flesh that out at a later date.
Y nosotros vamos a hablar de esto en una fecha más tarde, después.
The defendant is 18 years of age.
La acusada tiene 18 años de edad.
She works at a hotel.
Ella trabaja en un hotel.
And she's lived in Georgia for the past almost a year.
Y ha vivido aquí en Georgia por la cantidad de un año.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Also,
No
just quick notation. I don't know if it's possible, but if you could order language line, because otherwise I'm going to have a hard time handling this case. I don't speak Spanish.
Si usted pudiera dar una orden de que pudieran ofrecer el servicio de Language Line para poder comunicarme con mi cliente porque yo no hablo español.
Okay.
Okay.
Do the parties have any children together?
¿Las partes tienen hijos en común?
No, Your Honor.
No, señoría.
And with the defendant being 18, is there any work history or what does she do?
Yes, Your Honor.
La acusada tiene algún historial de trabajo, teniendo 18 años. ¿Qué hace ella?
She actually works at a hotel currently as part of the housekeeping staff.
Y ella trabaja en un hotel como parte de las personas de limpieza del hotel.
And we did say that the victim is her husband.
Y dijimos que la víctima era su esposo.
I think he's just her boyfriend, Your Honor.
Creo que solamente es novio de ella.
Okay, he's just her boyfriend.
Solamente su novio.
But they've been together for, I guess, 3 years.
Pero creo que han estado juntos
Based on
como
what
por
the
3
state said.
años. Es lo que dice la fiscalía.
Okay. I'm going to, will you take her pretrial?
It's up to you. I mean, she was recommended.
Ella está recomendada para
Oh, I didn't have her on my list.
You wouldn't? Oh, you know why? Because I was going to defer to you. That's why.
Okay, just defer to me. Yes, I would like to order a signature bond through pretrial.
Quiero que,
$1,000.
quiero que le voy a poner una orden de $1,000 de un bono de una fianza bajo palabra por medio de los servicios previos al juicio.
You said 2,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Was it 2,000 or 1,000, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
2,000. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
$2,000 de fianza bajo palabra.
And does she have someone that can sign her bond?
Y ella tiene que pueda
Your Honor,
firmar en la
her
fianza.
aunt may be able to, but again, we have language barriers.
Right.
But I did speak to her aunt, Aurora Martinez Pacheco, with the assistance of the interpreter earlier.
Hablamos con la tía Aurora Martínez Pacheco con la ayuda del intérprete para que ella pueda firmar esta fianza bajo palabra.
And so I have to let pretrial know, is that who will be coming to sign her bond? Or do
Unless
you
you're gonna waive it. I mean, I'll just.
And I would just ask that, Your Honor, that it be waived, just because I mean, I get that traditionally it's asked for. She is 18. She's otherwise kind of lived apart from her family. Only her aunt is the one who can, and I think with the language barriers, it's going to be pretty difficult to effectuate that.
Okay, if pretrial is okay with it, then I'll waive it.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay, all right, per judge, I will waive the signature by the family, a friend, or relative.
Okay, voy a decir que no tiene que tener la firma de un familiar o algo para que pueda salir bajo la caución, bajo la fianza, bajo palabra.
Now, Judge, let her know. She's gonna get a sheet of paper from pretrial when they report for orientation. It's gonna be on Zoom.
Okay,
And I'll order a Spanish interpreter for it.
Okay.
Le van a dar un documento donde va a salir que usted va a salir con una fianza bajo palabra. Le va a tocar un documento con los servicios previos al juicio y le van a dar un papel donde va a decir que tiene que hacer una orientación por Zoom.
No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Y no puede ingerir drogas ni alcohol ni tener armas cuando está bajo esta fianza bajo palabra.
And Mr. Toussaint, do you all have the anger awareness in Spanish, that course, or not?
I don't know. I mean, you can order and find out, but I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to order the one-day anger awareness course if they can find it in Spanish. If not, then I will waive it.
Okay,
so let's see if we can find it.
Okay. Van a ordenar que tome la clase de concienciación o la clase de tomar conciencia en español, que es una clase de un día si la tienen en español, y si no la tienen en español, entonces no se lo van a imponer.
Okay. Is there anything else I need to take up, Mr. Dark or Ms. Harmon?
Yes. I didn't hear your ruling on the contact with the victim.
Oh,
that was the only thing I was going to say.
Thank you. I apologize. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim. If they are living together, I guess my concern is whether Miss Cruz Martinez can go live with her aunt.
Yes, Your Honor, she can. We spoke about that.
All right, so she's going to stay away from the 5801 Kingsport, no further contact with the victim, and to go live elsewhere because she cannot live there.
Okay, entonces lo que les voy a estar ordenando es que usted no puede tener contacto más con la víctima, que es el señor Pablo García, y tiene que mantenerse alejada de la dirección donde vive él, que es el 5808 Kings Court Drive. No puede tener contacto con ella y tiene que vivir con su tía y no puede estar en contacto ni con esta persona ni acercarse a esa casa.
All right, that should conclude this case.
Okay, esto concluye este caso.
Does she have a phone number? I can jot down.
Her aunt or who?
The defendant.
Yeah.
I have the phone number for her aunt.
Do you have a phone?
¿Tiene teléfono? ¿Tiene número de teléfono, señorita Daphne? ¿Usted tiene el celular? ¿Tiene un celular? Sí, ¿usted tiene número de teléfono?
Sí,
¿Cuál es?
el mío, o sea, el mío, ¿verdad?
El suyo. Ujú.
Ajá, es 678
Ajá.
558
Ok.
3909.
3909. Ok,
Sí,
Your Honor.
pero cuando me trajeron, ¿cómo se llama? El policía se lo llevó, así que por ahora no sé, no está.
Okay, I do have a number, but when they arrested me, the police took my phone, so I don't know where my phone is. But I can give you. You want the number, Your Honor? I have the number here.
Okay, yes.
Let me get it.
Sure. It's 678 558 3909. That's her phone number, and I do have the aunt's phone number if you need it too.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr.
The
What's
aunt's
the aunt's name?
It is Aurora, and that will be Aurora Martinez, Martinez, Pacheco, Pacheco. And the number is 678 608 5010. And I also have her address, Your Honor, if you need it.
Do you need that, Mr. Toussaint?
Is it 5801 Kingsport Drive?
No,
No,
I mean, I have the
it's-
address of the aunt.
Damn, I ain't got enough room. Hold on.
I just, if you need it.
All right, I got it. I'm listening. I'm ready.
Okay, 145 North Drive, apartment G2 in Atlanta, Georgia, 30342.
145 North Drive, apartment G2, 30342.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
good luck to you.
Buena suerte.
All right.
May I be excused, Your Honor, or do they need me for somebody else?
I don't think we do, do we?
Okay.
Yes, you
And Your
may.
Honor, may I be excused as well?
And yes, you may, Mr. Dark. Thank you.
There was no contact?
I'm sorry?
What was the contact on that?
No further contact.
Okay,
Right.
thank you,
No
thank you.
further.
All right.
Thank
Position
you.
7, Your Honor, in front of you, Ms. Cook.
Okay. This is 22 CR 002612C. Tiffany Elaine Cook, you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence. The offense date is April 28th, 2022.
It's a third cycle. All come out of Michigan. October 2013, it just says traffic offense. June 2011, operating without a license on person, conviction. That's all I have.
Okay, Your Honor, this one took place on April 28th, 2022 at the address of 2810 Runic Way, RUNIC in Johns Creek. The victim in the case is Alicia Sims, ALICIA Sims. And I do believe, Your Honor, that she may be on the Zoom call. The parties are roommates. They apparently had a verbal altercation, which became physical. The defendant grabbed Ms. Sims by her hair and threw her to the ground and repeatedly struck her. The victim had a visible injury to her face, a bloody nose, as a result of the attack. Those injuries were photographed. This is what I knew earlier in the day. And then our victim advocate reached out to Ms. Sims, and she was able to update us on her injuries. And apparently at this moment, Your Honor, the victim has sent us paperwork from the hospital saying that she has a fractured ankle. That's only the patient discharge paperwork. So we have requested the medical records to confirm the diagnosis. But if that's accurate, then this will be upgraded to an aggravated battery because she fractured her ankle. In light of that, and in spite of the limited history, because this is a concerning incident with a significant injury to our victim, we're recommending a $15,000 cash bond. Absolutely stay away from the incident location. no further contact with the victim, the one-day anger awareness course, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And if you want to hear from Ms. Sims, I don't see her, but I was told she was going to be on the Zoom.
Let's see. Ms. Sims, are you on the Zoom call?
Yes, I'm here.
And
Oh,
Your
there
Honor,
you
if I may be heard before the complaining witness.
Yes, Ms. Gant. Hold on, Ms. Sims, I'm gonna come back to you. Let me have Ms. Gant to go first, and then I will let you address the court, okay? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Tiffany Cook is 35 years old. She has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 11 months. She is the proud mother of 3 children, ages 13, and 11. Your Honor, Ms. Cook completed high school. She has an associate's degree in criminal justice. She is currently employed at the Memory Center in Johns Creek as a CNA. Your Honor, my client denies the allegation. She states that the complaining witness rushed her. She states that while this incident happened, Ms. Cook's kids were trying to get the complaining witness off of her. She states that she was merely acting in self-defense. Ms. Cook informed me that she has text messages where Ms. Sims had threatened my client prior to this incident, Your Honor, and she states that, meaning Ms. Cook, states that she has filed charges on her and she has the police reports to prove it. She has gone to court to try to have Ms. Sims removed from her home, as Ms. Cook is the leaseholder at the incident location. Your Honor, my client does not have any violent history whatsoever. She is 35 years old. The state's bond is excessive. This is a simple battery charge. I would ask that Your Honor consider what is before you now. Ms. Cook is recommended for a signature bond. She does not have any prior history whatsoever. I am opposed to the stay away, as Ms. Cook is the leaseholder. However, she informs me that she has plans to vacate that property on May 3rd and that she will be moving into a new residence. And we believe that if the stay away is imposed, she may not have the time to arrange the law enforcement escort in a timely manner to retrieve her belongings from the home. She does not want any contact with Ms. Sims, although in light of my request to not have a stay away, I would ask that Your Honor impose a no violent contact order. In closing, Your Honor, again, I am requesting the signature bond. She just does not have the history. And even with her driving offense, Your Honor, she does not have any FTAs whatsoever, and bond is not to be punitive. We believe that where my client, Ms. Cook, is offering a competing version in which she also sustained injury. She states that she has marks on her arm as a result of Ms. Cook knocking her to the floor. She has injuries as well, Your Honor. So again, just in closing, I am requesting a signature bond. We are opposed to the stay away. We would ask that Your Honor order a no contact order. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sims, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
You wish to address the court?
And Your Honor, if I may, I would ask that Ms. Sims limit her testimony to the matter before you regarding her wishes for contact.
I will consider that, but I may have other additional questions so I can understand the circumstances, but I will take that into consideration.
Thank you.
Ms. Sims,
And Your Honor, Ms. Sims has the right to participate in this hearing, and she has the right to give her an account to explain the conditions that would make her feel intimidated by the defendant as well. So it doesn't have to be just limited to contact, as that goes to the Ayala factors as well.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sims, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right, put your hand down. What would you like to tell me about this incident?
Well, basically, Tiffany, when we first got here, Tiffany has been nothing but a bully to me. And Your Honor, I object. We would ask that she comment regarding the charges that are before this court. What she's
Yes.
speaking of there is not relevant, Your Honor.
Well, it could be because it will let me know whether you're in fear of her. And let me start out by asking, are you in fear of Tiffany Cook?
Yes, I am.
Okay, do you want her to return to the apartment that you all share?
No.
Okay, how long have you all resided together?
Since November.
Since November, okay. And her children reside there with you?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have another.
Go ahead, I didn't hear you.
I said, and we have another roommate that lives with us too, and she also has 3 kids.
Okay. And so the lease, whose name is the lease in?
It's under Tiffany's parents.
Hold on a second.
Remain
Ms. Cook,
silent.
you cannot respond.
Ms. Cook, remain silent, please.
Whose name is on the lease?
It's under Tiffany's parents' name.
Under Tiffany's parents' name?
Yes.
And so your name or the other lady's names are not on the lease?
No.
Okay. And are you there at the present with Miss Cook's children? Or are they somewhere else?
I'm with one of her kids. The other ones haven't came out of school yet.
But I'm saying since she's been arrested, have you been living there with her children?
Yes. Oh, no.
So they reside somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have somewhere else to go stay to live?
No, not right now. I don't.
And what about the third person there?
She don't either.
And do Miss Cook's parents live here in Georgia?
No, they live in Detroit.
Okay. And you stated that you're in fear of Miss Cook?
Yes.
And you stated this was not the first incident, is that correct?
Now that she's been harassing me and my children, she's been harassing my roommate and her children too. And it's just been going on. She's been lying to everybody about everything. She's been stealing our mail. Your Honor, I object. Relevance.
I will overrule that for now. Trying to determine what to do, Ms. Gant. Since there seems to be quite a few people living at this location. And I don't want to necessarily have Ms. Cook and her children to be homeless, but I also want to protect the victims and those who may be intimidated in this case. To know whether Ms. Cook can find somewhere else to go live. I know you stated that she was moving May 3rd, but we've got some days in between there. Don't want there to be any other altercations. So can you, I don't know, Ms. Cook, would you have somewhere else to stay in the interim?
Yes, ma'am. I had already booked a hotel for Friday because it's filled.
Okay.
You have an alternate residence. That's the extent of the commentary we need to hear from you. Thank you.
All right, that is good. So Ms. Cook, you're recommended for a signature bond, but I do have some concerns. I'm going to order a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial. I'm going to order that you stay away from 2810 Runic, Reunic Way in Johns Creek. You're not to go back there. You can have a one-time police escort or law enforcement escort to return there to retrieve your personal items. Do not go back there alone. Also, I'm going to order no further contact with the victim, Alicia Sims. And as I stated, I want you to stay away from that location. I'm going to order the one-day anger awareness course for pretrial. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except for any drugs that may be prescribed to you or medications, but no drugs.
Yeah.
Illegal drugs. Yes.
And Your Honor, I know you're making your ruling, but can I just advocate one more time for the 10,000 to be a surety bond in light of the injuries and the evidence that we received in this case? I know it's a simple battery, but the injuries were severe, and the warrant indicates that Ms. Cook was the primary aggressor in this case. Or I think even though she does have limited history, I do think because of the serious nature of this case, and the fact that the victim has testified that she feels intimidated and she's afraid of her, I think a surety bond in this case would be appropriate.
And Your Honor, if I may, the state knows that these are allegations. My client enjoys the presumption of innocence. She offers a competing version, and Your Honor has ordered a stay away and a no contact that will take care of any concerns regarding witness intimidation. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, I am concerned about her 3 children. She does have, it sounds like, a pretty decent job. Want her to at least keep her job as well. I'm not for sure about the surety bond efforts. So I still think that a signature bond is appropriate under these circumstances, but I want to be very clear, Ms. Cook, you're not to return to that location. You're not to intimidate or be around any of the persons that live there, including this victim, Miss Alicia Sims, or any other persons that reside in that apartment and whoever this other person is. So you need to cease all contact with them. If you in any manner, any way, try to contact Ms. Sims, she will notify the police and you will be arrested again and your bond will be revoked. So I'm very serious about it. And I do take it serious that the allegations that are before the court, but I also want to make sure that there's nothing else that occurs after this, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've got to do the one-day anger awareness course. You're going to be given the paperwork, as Mr. Toussaint stated earlier, about the orientation with pretrial services.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
I have one thing. Ms. Cook do have guns on this property. So, and I don't know where she got them, but she have guns on this property too.
Wow. Then I'm going to ask Ms. Cook that you surrender your weapons. Now add that to the order. You need to surrender them to the police while you're on bond.
I don't have them in my possession, Honor. They're at my boyfriend's house. And also I have called the police because
Ms. Cook, remain silent.
Okay, so let me say this to you. Are those guns registered to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Then I want you to get them from your boyfriend's house once you make bond, once you're out, because this is a signature bond. Once you're out on bond, I want you to go. We're talking about 2 weapons, 3 weapons, how many?
One.
I'm sorry?
One.
1 or 2 or 2?
One, and one of them was stolen.
Okay. So
From
any
out of
weapon.
the house.
Okay. So you're admitting to 1 weapon.
Yes.
At this time, and I want that weapon to be surrendered to the police while you're on bond.
Yes, ma'am.
And I guess you can probably do the exchange possibly when you have them to go with you to get your items for you and your children from that property location when they're escorting you. So when you contact them, you let them know that you have an order that says you must surrender your weapon or weapons, and you need their assistance with going to that location to
Yes, ma'am.
get your items and your children's items, or else you will be arrested again. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you have knowledge, Miss Sims, of her with the weapons or anything like that, or any other threats, just call the police and let them know so that they can do what they need to do accordingly if her bond needs to be revoked for any violation. All right? That should conclude this matter.
That'll be all for South Annex, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too, ma'am.
Okay.
Position 6, Casey.
Okay.
How you doing, Your Honor?
All right, hello. This is case number 22 CR 002611A, Christopher Casey. You're charged with 1 count of theft by taking. The offense date is April the 4th, 2022. Pre-trial.
You know me?
Yes, sir.
No, I don't have his file. Didn't we just have him the other day?
Christopher
Oh.
Casey?
Yeah.
I don't recall, but that wouldn't mean much.
Yes.
I'll defer
As
to the
Chief
state.
Ferrari said, he was on the calendar yesterday, but he wasn't assigned to me. But
Oh,
he was apparently on the calendar yesterday.
What kind of bond did he get yesterday? Hold on.
He received a split bond. I can
So
look
this
it
is
up.
new charges?
Yes.
That's correct. These are new charges.
Oh. Yeah, I don't have his history. It's
Okay.
somewhere around here.
I get it, Ms. Hart. Whose case is Ms. Harmon? Do you by chance have his criminal history?
I have a summary of it. It's 57 cycles in Georgia, namely criminal trespassing. He has 4 open cases in Fulton County, a 20 CP 193-600 for burglary. The case we were referring to yesterday in which he got the split bond, that's 22 CR 002-516B for criminal trespass. He has a 22 CR 007, I'm sorry, can't see. 22 CR 007741E for simple battery. And it looks like a case that was bound over with an 18-0911 criminal trespass. Your Honor, from what I can tell in the file, this occurred at 3181 Donald Lee Howell Parkway. Sorry. The victim in the case is Nathaniel Reed. The victim reported to officers that his toolbox was stolen from his vehicle. The value of the toolbox and the tools contained therein were less than $1,500. And then there was some surveillance video that captured the defendant leaving the location with the stolen items. So he was caught on tape with the toolbox. In light of the criminal history, he's a multi-state offender. I don't think I mentioned that. With history out of Mississippi, Florida. He had a 2019 arrest for petite theft in Florida, the 57 cycles in Georgia, the open cases in our jurisdiction. There are some remote FTAs from 2007 and 2008. Our recommendation is a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And the bond recommendation is that because he does present a risk of reoffending just based on the criminal history in the open cases.
All right, Ms. Gann.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Christopher Casey is 34 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 20 years. He has family here, including a son of 11 years and his girlfriend is currently pregnant. She's 7 months now. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Casey completed high school. He is employed at Cafe and Grill. However, he has been in that position for only 1 week and he is afraid that he may have lost that job. Your Honor, he denies the allegations, and while I acknowledge my client's history, Yeah, this is a death by taking case. He is presumed innocent in any open cases and in this case as well. He has community ties. The FTAs are remote back in the 2000s. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Casey's behalf. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then a bond of no more than $1,000. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to order $2,500 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order stay away from 3181 Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim, Nathaniel Reed, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Anything else I need to take up?
Anything further from the defense, and Mr. Casey remains silent.
All right. Now. I'm good. Yeah. I don't have the money.
Who we got next?
Silent.
Judge, you said the bond.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down.
I know.
500 surety bond.
55?
25.
25, yeah. Oh, yeah, I wrote it down.
We got position number 22, Mr. Warren. Hey, Casey, we're not gonna do that today. Not my courtroom.
How you doing, Your Honor?
All right, thank you. This is 22 CR 002601E. Mr. Raymond Warren, you're charged with one count of battery family violence. The offense date of April 28th, 2022. Pre-trial.
This is fourth arrest. His history come out of Arizona. Last arrest was 2005. Drug paraphernalia, that was dismissed. 2005 criminal damage, deface, disorderly conduct. The criminal damage was guilty. And the 03 drug paraphernalia, that was dismissed. The marijuana possession was a conviction. That's all.
Okay. Mr. Segura.
The incident occurred on April the 28th, 2022, at the instant location of 826 Pinehurst Terrace, Southwest Atlanta. And this time, incident date, officers made contact with the victim, Mr. Stephen Baker. Stephen spelled S-T-E-P-H-E-N, Baker, common spelling, about a domestic violence incident in which the defendant assaulted Mr. Baker, with whom he lives with. Mr. Baker advised the officer that the defendant got upset with him because he didn't want to hold him in bed and became angry. At that time, the defendant bit him, Mr. Baker, on his left hand and middle finger, and also struck him in the head, but on the top of his head with a closed fist. And the visible injuries of Mr. Baker have a bite mark on his middle finger and swelling to the right side of his temple near his eye. The state is recommending a $4,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, 1 day anger awareness, a stay away from the 826 Pinehurst Terrace Southwest location, and no further contact with Stephen Baker. We actually made contact with Ms. Baker earlier today, in which he stated that he and the defendant have been in a relationship for almost 10 years, and they do reside together. And Mr. Baker also noted that there is domestic violence history between them, and that his finger is still sore and the tip feels numb, and that he is still afraid of the defendant. But Mr. Baker also noted that he does want to have some sort of no contact with the defendant, but he still wants the defendant to come home. But even so, we know this is a domestic violence incident. So we know how relationships can be complicated. So still concerned about the safety of Mr. Baker, especially considering that, as he stated, there's domestic violence history between them. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr.
Yeah.
Warren is 38 years old and the place, 826 Pinehurst Terrace. He is the leaseholder and the complaining witness, Stephen Baker, is not on the lease at all. And I had a chance to speak with Mr. Baker this afternoon, and he was not afraid of Mr. Warren, and he was okay for him to return home as well. So I was hoping that he would be on the Zoom hearing to testify that. I guess Mr. Stephen just came in, so he can tell it about that. And he has been here in Georgia for the last 2 years. He doesn't have any other family members. He's been employed as a chef, and he graduated from high school. He has a college credits, and he has a solid job. We would like to request for signature on bond. He is actually recommended by pre-trial service for signature on bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. David, do you wish to address the court?
Judge Mincy, are you speaking to me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I
I'm
would.
sorry, Mr. Baker. I think I called you the wrong last name. I apologize. It's Stephen Baker, correct? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Okay, do you wish to address the court, Mr. Baker?
Yes, simply to say,
Hold
I
on,
love Ramon. I really
hold
believe
on,
in him.
hold. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, now tell me what you would like to tell me.
Okay, I just wanted to say, that I do believe in Ramon. We have had about 10 years together come this December. Of course, relationships go through their complications, and I just believe it got a little bit escalated. I don't have a problem with him coming back here to the house. We actually rent a room in the house, so there is no lease period. Just as long as, he understands that my expectation is for there to be no further physical contact. I can keep my mouth closed as long as, he can be respectful and, we both been raised fairly well. So I think that is fair.
Okay, and so you're not in fear of him?
Not at all.
Okay, and this incident happened on the 28th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, you're both renting rooms there, so the leases that you each have are for renting your rooms?
That's correct. It's like the landlord at least like rents our rooms in his house. It's a 2-bedroom, and there's another party that's unrelated to us that rents the other room here, and he and I share a room, and we just pay our rent joint like that.
Okay. All right, I will take that into consideration. Do either of you, and I guess I can ask this to Ms. Kim, does Mr. Warren have another place to live?
No, Your Honor. He is the main leaseholder, Your Honor.
He's the main what?
His name is on the lease primarily.
Well, they're just renting a room in a house.
Yeah, there's no lease.
Well, I want to make sure there's a cooling down period, and I want to make sure that you are going to be safe, Mr. Baker, that there's not going to be any further incidents. So what I'm going to do is order a signature bond through pretrial since he is recommended, but that amount will be $3,000. And so that'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. I'm going to order the 1-day anger awareness course. I'm gonna order that there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons used by Mr. Warren while he's on bond. And I'm going to order a stay away from the 826 Pinehurst Terrace Southwest. And so while on bond, Mr. Warren, you're gonna have to find another place to stay. I'm gonna order that you have no further contact with the victim, Stephen Baker. I wanna make sure that we're past this and done with this. And you can go back one time with a police escort, Mr. Warren, to retrieve your personal belongings that you might need from that location. And I want to start there, Mr. Baker, and then we'll see where it goes. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that's the ruling of the court.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, well, I just would like to say something, Your Honor. I have signed.
Excuse me,
Mr. Warren.
excuse me.
Mr. Warren, please call me unless this is directly related to the bond. Please call me and ask me questions. I'll
Okay, no
explain.
problem.
Thank you.
What was that bond amount, Your Honor?
$3,000 signature bond through pretrial.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Carson, position number 5.
Okay. This is 22 CR 002617J. Sam Carson, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. The offense date is April 28, 2022. Pre-trial.
23 between Kentucky, Indiana, and Georgia. Hey, last arrest was January. Criminal trespass, probation violation. There's an open case for giving false name, failure to appear. That's weird. He on probation for burglary, 2nd degree, 18 SC 156655. In 2018, they gave him 1 year to serve, 4 years probation for that. As far as Kentucky, last arrest that was 2020, failure to appear, fugitive from another state. Another 2020, public intoxication. 2013, that was a parole violation arrest. He had a 2012 burglary out of Kentucky as well. 2011, criminal mischief in the 3rd degree.
Don't touch that, man. Don't touch the mic.
As far as Indiana, last arrest there was 2013. Okay, they didn't attach the charge to that one. You want more? That's enough.
That's
He got
good. Thank
quite a
you.
bit of probation violations too.
Okay, that's fine.
And Your
Right, Ms.
Honor.
Harmon?
Yes, Your Honor. The location of the incident was 159 Ralph McGill Boulevard in Atlanta. I believe that he was already given a $1,500 surety bond, and that would be the state's recommendation. The facts briefly is that the property manager called officers and said that the defendant had been coming to this apartment complex and sleeping and using their facilities. The officers did in fact observe the defendant sleeping in a stairwell, and he was arrested. And he was previously issued the criminal trespass warning, and it was 2 days before this arrest. So he was well aware that he wasn't supposed to be on property. I believe that he does present a risk to reoffend. He did have the 2017 criminal trespass that was amended to disorderly, and that was a guilty. He is on probation for the 18 SC case that Mr. Howard gave us, the burglary in the 2nd. And then he did have the 22 CR 000409E case. That was a criminal trespass guilty, and that was from this year, February of 2022. So our recommendation would be a $1,500 surety bond, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay. And say that recommendation again, I'm sorry.
$1,500 surety bond, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay. All right, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sam Carson is 32 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area for about 7 months. He does have family here. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Carson completed 9th grade. He has been unemployed for about 1 year prior to becoming unemployed. He worked at Home Depot, Your Honor. He denies the allegations, and I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Carson's behalf, as he does not have the means to pay anything toward bond, Your Honor. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then the lowest bond possible. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order a $1,500 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Stay away from the incident location. And I think that is it, unless there's anything else that I need to take up.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
Nothing further from the state. Thank you.
Yeah. What else do we have, Deputy?
Judge, I think that should be it.
The others bonded out or not coming?
Position 17 and 19 made bond.
Okay.
And position 24 should have been on the SAP calendar. That was a bind over case. That Williams case was placed on the calendar by mistake. It was a bind over case.
Position number 11 is a medical reset. We're done here, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, you may. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right. 11 is a medical reset to tomorrow or Monday?
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Judge.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, thank you.
4:30.
I'm sorry?
No, I just said 4:30. The date, that's all.
Just the date is 4:30.
Oh, you know what I thought he was really trying to do.
I know.
Oh,
That's
no,
why I thought
no,
I'd
no.
help you.
Yeah, thank you. Help him out.
Hey, you did good. You did good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we go over the calendar?
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay, here we go. Again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be May the 12th. Position number 1 is reset to SAP with the let me put it this way, a $4,250 SOB total through the jail. Position 2 is reset. Well, that can't be right if it's set for the SAP calendar. I'm sorry, that's reset further notice because they had an SOB through the jail. So disregard that as being reset to the SAP calendar. Okay, position number 2 is in fact reset to the SAP calendar with a $10,000 cash only bond. Position number 3 reset further notice with a $3,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 4 reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 total good bond. Position 5 reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. Position 6 reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position 7 is reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 8 reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 9 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. Position 10 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. Position 11 is medically reset till tomorrow. Position 12 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 13 is reset further notice with an $8,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 14 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 total good bond. Position 15, reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 16, reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 17 was reset further notice, they bonded out. Position 18, reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 total good bond. Position 19 is reset further notice as they also bonded out. Position 20, reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position 21 is reset further notice with a $3,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 22 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 23 reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. And I am told position 21 should not have been on the calendar. Is that correct?
24.
Yes, Valerie Williams. She should not be on the calendar. Was she entered?
Mr. Jordan said it was on by mistake.
Okay, so we'll put in error. And that completes the calendar. Are there any questions, corrections, comments, or otherwise?
I'm good.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yeah, we have to make sure pretrial is good first.
Yes, don't you know? All right, well, everybody
All
have
right,
a good
everybody.
weekend.
Yes, have a good weekend, everyone.
Judge, do we have you tomorrow? Will you be with us?
No, sir.
Oh, well, you'll miss out on the